Welcome back! I'm 3am Panic and you're watching the cheerful case of children suffering. You sick monster. So far we've seen a lot in Maiden Abyss. Adventure. Near death. More adventure. Transformations. A very good father figure. And a journey like none other. What may have started out as one just trying to find your parents soon became something else, and the very clear dangers along the way. I don't believe he's going to let up anytime soon. In fact, something tells me everything that we've seen so far is more just an introduction. Getting us prepared what might come along. So pull up your big boy pants. Let's see the adventures in Maiden Abyss. Not a word I was meant to understand, it was a name or something, fair enough. But a fascinating little curio. A compass. I mean, I don't like this angle. I knew I didn't like that angle. Played a leading role. Such a storyteller. We've seen various things. This ship has been there for a while, if it's like covered in barnacles and the like. So is this... Hang on, the ship looked like it had been adrift for a long time, and yet... And yet the crew aboard, eviscerated in various manners. That is where it is. Stretches to infinity. So they came to learn about the Abyss. How do they... A golden... He passed on his tail and then passed on. But... Why do you need to iron... brand... The only thing in his life he had anything... anything to boast about, and such an unfulfilling existence. But managing to come away with the compass somehow, finding a new... Leave the cat thing alone. Trauma is one thing, and I see why... Sometimes they hide it, sometimes it's a bit more... on show. Usually show various fluids, especially sick. Then again, Maiden Abyss isn't exactly one to shy shy away. I mean, on a long journey, get protein when you can. But a way of building up the story. This golden city at the end of the abyss, where the compass stands straight. Is it something you want to get used to? Oh, hardtack. I mean, it's food. Barely. The Three Sages. He really needs to chew. Well, when we have a guardian figure like that who seems to be helping out and providing moral support, and a named character. But compared to the show that we've seen so far, the cave exploration, travelling further and further down, getting an open water voyage, or something that I thought we would start with. I mean, if it's foretold that to be one of the sages, if you've got no gifts, they can make a name for themselves, do something to help. Also, why is he the only one that doesn't have heavy eye bags? He sleeps quite well on the ship. Such things as such a trifling, simple way of looking at it. Another way of beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If you can still continue on. In the face of adversity. Find the single speck in the darkness, try and reach out and grasp it, and continue on with that in mind. These characters are far too nice and providing far too much support. Getting times like these where the elements, well, and food is... Oh no. Yeah, the elements is and the food is the only things left to face. They're about to come across it. The unending deep dive. Didn't expect this as an OST. And I love it when they continue the show over the music and credits. Good catch. Exploring where few have tread before. The pioneers of this adventure. The beginning of where we've stood for so long and seen the city and everything unfold and grow. But we've... Huh. Okay. So we have natives of the land of the crater. He doesn't seem too fazed. And the juxtaposition of the stone archway compared to the wooden and straw and thatch huts. Occupying where a civilization was before. My more. That's why they were a little apprehensive. Does he have some sort of gift to be able to understand them, or is he just, learned a bit of the language of the natives? I mean, the compass was the thing that led you here, and now that you are here, it's kind of done its duty. But it was the thing that she kept close for a long time. Lies in the darkness. I guess his condescending speech and help did actually get through. Sure. I mean, the abyss sickness can't get back up if you travel down far enough. Getting to learn that before anyone else is going to be difficult. Maybe they need a bath. Is it... Wounds are still fresh. That's going to be something that's... Is it worthy of exile? But of course, with someone in that state and her history, you'd need to find a way to... It'd be a bit... Is he still eating bugs? So, you know, taking in a guide to the lands. And are they... That'd be what she was apprehensive about. Are they going to slowly lose members of their entourage? Just from being up on the hill. Insect, pollen, spore. The slight journey up the hill. That was it. This is the first instance of the abyss sickness. Maybe. Seeing it from this perspective, where you got an expedition compared to our little group, and seeing some of the places we have visited before, like the giant mushroom, mushrooms with water flowing. They got all the way here. That's kind of impressive. Yep, just take a leap forward. That's one way to transition. We get the history. I think her fur couldn't break through the entrance. So people have passed through here relatively soon. And knowing that we will very rarely, if ever, return to any of these sites and places. I mean, Nanachi has... Yeah, I remembered the name. Nanachi has travelled so far from the little cave that they were stuck in before. There's a lot of personal space and sniffing, isn't there? How did... that answers my question. I was going to say, how did it know when to start moving? Using the white whistle. Of course, actually having to remember Prushka and everything that happened. Oh no! Brings back some trauma. Are the spheres safe from the things that As though a vast graveyard. This is as far as you travel. Beyond here is the realms of the spirit. I mean, to be fair, I would be quite pleased with... You're still making a lot of progress. And you're relatively safe. The important altar is actually just a vast toilet. Let's hope the journey isn't too much longer. Well, since they don't know how long it's going to take. I mean... Yeah, good thing there is the incense. Can someone talk? Well, yeah. Well, at least she looks more comfortable. Oh. I don't think you need to pray over something still steaming. Are they just going to leave it in the pod and hightail it out of there? Yes, I think, like I was trying to say, any moment of reprieve where you are safe, don't get... well, after playing Elden Ring and seeing crumbling Azula, I really like this aesthetic and this kind of design for an environment. And each layer being so complete... Yeah, it's upside down, Evan. Capital of the Unreturned. And since people can't really get back, is there going to be another stop-off point and a civilization and whatnot down here? And what is this music? So far, first episode back, we didn't see any... Well, to the three that we've been following for a while, we haven't seen anything too life-threatening or horrid happen. To the ones we've just been introduced to, we can't quite say that, but at least it was in the past. They're starting their journey, being the originators, being the ones to travel down. Are we going to come across remnants and evidence of them being here? Of course, if Rico and the lot come across, say, fallen members of the party, their bones and whatnot, because I'm guessing it's hundreds, if not thousands of years prior to the events that we're seeing. That is, of course, if time flows normally in the Abyss. That creature design seems it could be a bit off balance. The centre of gravity is a bit funny. And as far as taking a dump and whatnot in your travelling pod, I don't think their diet is going to be particularly good while out on an adventure, so... Well, and the sound did make it seem as though... particularly nice passing, and well, let's hope they just stay cleanly. But seeing it a vessel where one was burned, one was coming across a vessel while you're out fishing, where the crew didn't really, well, they didn't fare too well. You had one, granted, still alive, a bit out of it, and apparently passed on quite soon after being found. One burned alive, one eviscerated, and another, well, quite clearly bifurcated, although not the usual way you'd see it. It's not normal that you see the front and back half of a person separated. But since it said it was still twitching, and the corpse was still charred and burning, what was the cause? How did it... This is, of course, if the story is accurately portrayed. Got to still take that with a grain of salt. How did all this happen? How long ago? Why is it still seemingly fresh? Where did they get the compass? How do they know about the abyss, the golden city, and the rest of it? Is it the remnants of the party that went before? Seeing that the elder of the village lived there, apparently there was another group that weren't quite so eager to converse. But since, as I said before though, since we're getting this original expedition out there, probably going to leave a few traces behind. Leave some notes and the like for Rico and whatnot to pick up. Learn from their mistakes. If I was just here wanting to see the journey that our three characters had, getting deeper, seeing what could be at the bottom, seeing if they could catch up to others in their footsteps, it would already be one thing, but having it split across these two stories happening simultaneously but across the ages, I'm interested to see where it goes. Of course, this is Made in Abyss, so I'm not exactly going to put it down anytime soon, even if I'm going to be traumatised a little. I could see some people being a little hesitant of certain aspects of this one. But then again, things we've seen before. This is Made in Abyss. You have to steel yourself. Are you ready to see more? I might be. I would much rather come across a notebook, some carvings, maybe some left equipment and the like, as evidence that people had been before me. Not a steaming gift left in the elevator. This incense has a funny aroma to it. But if you have enjoyed the journey so far, want to see just how deep they get, how much trouble they get into, how many breadcrumbs they leave along the way, let me know down below. Consider liking the video as well. Since you're here, if this is the first time that you're seeing this channel, or Made in Abyss, but why do you join now, consider subscribing. Really helps out. Mainly, as long as you're having fun. Might be the wrong words for Made in Abyss. That's the main part. Try and join me again. If you would like to help see my steaming dump of a channel appear in any place of reverence or worship, consider joining onto my Patreon, because it's a whole lot cleaner than pulling down your trousers. And to be honest, I'm not sure how any of that would actually help with watching anime. So I really need to thank Electricant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Arthea, Dark Shadow 7899, Shiwan, Mats, Gurley, Cardboard, Croyville, Megu42, and everyone else, for at least so far, keeping our streets clean.